So today we have Cheapy Day. I'm going to be reviewing two cheap fragrances on the channel here, and by cheap I mean in the $30 to $35 range. I'm going to start today off with Rochas Man. I'm going to go through and tell you basically everything I know about this fragrance, from how it smells to how it performs to if I think it's worth picking up. And then later on in the day I'll drop my other review, which you will have to wait and see what that's going to be. But obviously, spoiler alert, it's another affordable scent. And both of these are around in the same price point if I didn't already mention that. Now I will link this down below to FragranceNet, and when you click that link it will automatically apply the 37% off code for you, so that way you're getting the best possible deal on this one. Sometimes if you go just to their website, it'll give you like 20 to 25% off and that's it, and that's all they try to give you. Don't do that. Hit the link down below, get that 37% off. Let's go ahead and dive right into this one, starting off with the smell. So when you first spray this one on, it's apparent what it's about. It's a coffee-based scent. Now, it's kind of one of the main things you'll hear about when this one is brought up, and so most of you guys will know that going into it. But if you were to go into this one blind, had you not heard anything about it, had you not looked at the notes or read or listened to or watched any reviews, you would still pick up on that coffee cappuccino accord right away. So it's not one of those things where you hear about it and then your brain automatically detects it even if it may not be there. It's something that's very prominent. I would say if you go ask anyone to smell this one and you don't tell them that it's a coffee scent beforehand, most people will pick up on it. So what does that mean? That means that this fragrance is going to appeal to people who like the smell of coffee. Maybe you enjoy drinking it, or maybe you don't, but you like how it smells. And that also means that if you are not a fan of coffee, you don't like how it smells, you may want to be a little bit cautious with this one. Now again, luckily, given the price point, it's not like you're going to be out a ton of money if you were to blind buy this and didn't like it, but still, you don't want to waste money, right? $35 is $35. So if I can save you that headache up front, if you don't like coffee, be cautious. It's maybe a bit harder to get a sample first, given that it is an affordable fragrance. You know, for people to decant this out, it's not as worth it to them. I'm sure there are places that do it, but that's something you'd probably have to find online. Let's go ahead and take a look at the full note breakdown. Up top, we have lavender and bergamot. In the mid, we have cappuccino, raspberry, jasmine, Virginia cedar, and lily of the valley. And in the base, we have vanilla, amber, sandalwood, and patchouli. So it's a pretty big note breakdown, and a lot of times cheaper fragrances will have larger note breakdowns like this, but don't let that fool you, because for me, I don't pick up on everything that they list off. So for me, I get the cappuccino, obviously. I get a little bit of the vanilla. I also get some of the amber, and what the amber is doing primarily is it's adding to a bit of a powderiness that is prevalent throughout the scent. I do get some mild woods in the base, so the cedar wood does come through a little bit. That almost gives it a little bit of a spiciness. So you may notice that there's no cardamom listed in here. Typically, cardamom and coffee go together like bread and butter, right? That's kind of something where you always find them together in a fragrance, and after all, that's just kind of what coffee is known for, but they don't list the note in here. The spiciness can come across a little bit like a cardamom note though, so maybe it's kind of lumped in with the cappuccino accord that they list off. And of course the lavender, I do pick up on a good amount of the lavender here. And that, to me, along with some of the woods, is what's giving this one a masculine smell. So again, this is Rochas Man. It's not marketed as a unisexual fragrance, it's marketed as a men's fragrance. Now obviously not every fragrance out there that's marketed for men smells 100% masculine. I mean, there are fragrances out there that are marketed for men that women could easily pull off, and in some instances they may be able to pull them off better. So sometimes it's a bit of a given, but there is a masculine touch about this one. So if you were worried about it maybe being feminine or unisex leaning, I think it could go that way, but also I do think it leans in a masculine direction also. It's all about how you carry yourself, about how you present yourself, and ultimately how you're dressed when you're wearing this one. But there is a nice woody, sexy, slight muskiness about this one, and nice woody spiciness. Now, one thing that I don't pick up on a lot of is the florals in here. So the jasmine, the lily of the valley. I don't really get too much of that. I don't get it up top when I first spray it on, and I also don't really get it in the dry down either. Maybe a little bit of a fresh balance. That's about it. I mean, really, it's all about the notes that I focused on a second ago is what this one's about for me. But I've got to say, this fragrance is absolutely amazing. Smells so, so good. Spraying it up in the air like that, You smell it, it hangs around, it's powdery, it's kind of sexy, it's inviting, it's a bit sweet, it has that coffee note dialed up. It smells divine. It's a great one for fall and winter time. It's a great one to kind of cozy up and snuggle with your significant other around the holiday season. So when can you wear this one? It'll definitely be a cooler weather scent. Fall, winter, early spring, that sort of thing. And I think for me, I'm going to enjoy this one the most around this time here, now that we're moving into the holiday season. I just got this one earlier this year, so I haven't had a chance to wear it through like Christmas and stuff yet, obviously. But I just kind of how it smells, and now that we're moving into that time where it is getting cold outside and you smell this one, it does have a coziness about it. So I think around, Christmas, Christmas Eve, and even like New Year's, if you're to go to a New Year's party or something, I think this one would be great. It smells amazing. So this one is an eau de toilette concentration. We'll touch on performance here. Longevity on my skin is usually around the 6.5 hour mark. Sometimes I will get a bit more out of it, but that's typically where it falls. So when you look at the grand scheme of things, I don't think that's bad. There are definitely fragrances out there that perform better, but a lot of times at a higher price. When you take a look at the price point of this one, about $35, when you take a look at the quality, the smell, the uniqueness, for me, 6 to 6.5 hours is more than acceptable. I'll choose to wear this one in a situation where I don't need a whole lot of performance, right? Hanging out around the house in the evening, just doing whatever, I'll go for this one. If there's an application where I want to really project and, have my fragrance noticed, then I'll wear something else. And I understand maybe someone would like the smell of this so much that they wish it would do that, but unfortunately that's just the world of fragrances, and I can almost guarantee you can find something else that is much stronger that you may like just as much as this one, if not more. So for me, it's all about choosing this and enjoying it based off of the smell. The performance for me is not a deciding factor. And not to mention, to increase the performance and the projection, you can apply more. It's not that expensive. It's not like you're gonna go broke spraying this stuff heavily. I do find the projection to be on the softer side as well. It's a mild projector, not a room-filling Versace Eros type of smell. It doesn't have that type of character. It's one that'll kind of hang closer to you. It's a bit more refined. For me, it's not a big deal. I prefer my fragrances to be that way. But again, if you want more projection out of it, spray a bit more on and it will push out harder. But do keep in mind also that the cooler temperatures will dial back that performance. So in a situation like that, you would want to apply more anyway. If you were to wear this one in the summer for whatever reason, which you definitely could, the heat would make it project and perform a lot better overall. But winter, cold weather is always harder on fragrances, especially the more affordable ones like this one, which don't have the best performance out of the gate. So again, it's something to keep in mind. I already briefly touched on this, but the quality is phenomenal. It's really quite impressive, right? Rochas, they have some great fragrances. This one's great. L'Homme is great. But I mean, man, it is smooth. There's nothing unnatural or synthetic about it. It is impressive how spot on this one is. We're not shooting for niche quality here, but it definitely can hang with designer fragrances up in the $50, $60 range, at least for me. It's going to be a great compliment getter. Again, it has that masculine, kind of warm, inviting, sexy spiciness about it that women do really seem to like. Now remember, performance is something that can hinder a fragrance's compliment factor. If people can't smell you, they're not going to say anything to you. And given that this one is a bit more mild, again, you'll want to spray it on heavier to get that attention. All right, we're down to the end here. Final thoughts on Rochas, man. I absolutely adore this fragrance. I think it is so, so good. All things considered, one of the best affordable fragrances out there on the market that you can buy for a guy. Or again, if you're a girl watching this and you like how it smells, you can wear it as well. But I know the majority of my audience here are guys, and you're looking for a fragrance for yourself most likely. I think this is one of the best out there if you're on a budget. That's going to do it for me, guys. My full review on Rochas. Man, let me know your thoughts down below if you like it, if you don't like it. And also let me know what other fragrances you want me to review. I'm trying to cover some things that I talk about a good amount, but I haven't done a review on yet, like this one and like the other fragrance, which you'll see later on today. So I'm going to be doing that, trying to break up the lists and do some reviews. And just, yeah, let me know down below what else you would want to see on the channel. Buying guides, let me know what line you want me to do next. Those are always very expensive. Those are always a big task. That Le Mans one was a pain in the butt, but I'll get them done if you guys have a line that you'd like to see. And also, a big thank you to my Chaos Parfum members. I haven't shouted you guys out in a while. I apologize. I've been so busy with everything that's been going on here with the channel. November and end of December here has been very busy. for the channel and just in my life in general, so I apologize. But Chaos Parfum and all of my members, you guys are awesome. If you want to see these videos in advance, I've still been active over on my membership, posting these videos in advance every day. If you want to watch them before everyone else, if you want to see some vlogs, I'm buying some cool stuff. If you want to see a part of that, you can check out the members as well. A whole bunch of cool perks you can get from joining the membership. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.